Now we have next 10 to 15 minutes. I will be moving little fast so that we can give the important points on time. The parameters to be taken care while treating these cases, the SpO2 levels are very important. Ask the patient to invest on an oximeter at their home. X-ray if someone develops the symptoms, the pulse, the blood pressure. Now one important test is walk test of 6 minutes. At time the patient says that my oxygen is 92, 93 or 94, but after walking 6 minutes the patient's oxygen drops. So now this case is a little trickier patient, so you have to judge and then prescribe and then take the case. If you're able to well manage it, then you can go ahead. But if you feel you're not confident, then take help in those cases from your friend homeopaths. The mental state of the patient is also very important in this state. Just a second. We move on to the next slide over here. The blood values, the CRP, the D dimer, the CBC, ESR, and also rule out one important thing: the urinary infection. The now in few cases, what I've seen at times we miss the urinary test. So you should be doing routine urine investigation along with the test which I mentioned. The UTI fever is also very high grade, so you shouldn't be ruling out. You should rule out this thing very specifically at times. Otherwise, you will be wrongly prescribing the medicine. So I want to tell you this from my own personal experience. Now I am sharing the slides what I did in basically in the month of February, March, April before actually getting the cases of COVID. This was the thing which I was doing and sitting at home and while seeing my patient. I studied all the important remedies in therapeutic session. This is the slide what I'm showing of my own basically. This is the way how I used to study, and along with our homeopath friends we were studying this thing, and then we came on the certain important remedies which were the good flu medicine at that time: Bryonia, Gelsemium, Arsenicum album, Eupatorium perfolitum, Camphor, Ammonium muriaticum, Carbovec, Cupromet. So these were important medicines how we studied. Now what were the now if you want to say what are the important medicine in the first stage of pneumonia? So first stage of pneumonia, aconitis plays very important role, especially in the children. If you're seeing that fever has started and he is in a COVID infected family, aconite plays a very important role. Along with an intercurrent miasmatic medicine from a syphilitic group, you can should be choosing basically. Bryonia plays a very important role in the first stage of the disease. One simple rule I want to say: if the climate is hot and patient is feeling thirsty and there is a dryness of mouth, and if you're not able to judge a right medicine at times, first prescription at least you can start with the Bryonia and then choose the constitutional medicine what the patient is in the state of the mind and add that. Gelsemium plays a very important role when the patient is thirstless. Ferrum phosphoricum helps a lot. Veratrum viridi, phosphoricum, lycopodium has given me excellent results. Excellent result I should tell you. Sulfur, Kali carbonicum also has given very good result. The Kali group medicines are also very important. Kali carbonicum, Kali muriaticum when the throat is more involved, Kali iode when the lungs are more involved. If you are seeing the charts and presentation of other doctors, they have mentioned Kali iode, and Kali iode has an iodium element in this which is a destructive element, and the combined medicine gives amazing results to us. The later stage of the or asphyxia stage, Carboveg is like a course revival what we say, and it does have a very important role being a complementary to Kali carbonicum. So keep in this mind that the basically the complementary medicine while you are prescribing. Antimonium tart has given amazing result, especially if the patient is aged, he is chilly, and there is a reduced thirst with a tongue coated. So you have to be attentive and keep on asking the symptom what the patient is having. If there is a the tongue is clean and it is not coated, ipecacs come in between. If the patient is having vomiting, there is a diarrhea, antimonium tart, ipecac, you have to keep on judging the medicine. So basically here what I am trying to say is I am not giving you a specific to the point. What I am sharing is basically how to go ahead. And when you know this thing, what we say like you should basically teach how to fish rather than just giving a fish in your hand. So this is what I want to share with all my friends, and it would play an important role while treating convalescence period. The post COVID medicines are sacrolactic acid, Kali phosphoricum thiocyanamenum when there is a lot of fibrosis. Scutellarian is also very very important medicine which I very frequently prescribe. Drosera has a very important role when there is a fibrosis which we see in the patient, and it clears the fibrosis of those patients. Medicine which I use, so this was a statistical thing which I did, and this were the medicine which I was prescribing. So my suggestion to all my doctor colleagues is to play a very active role in this space where you don't require some rocket science but some simple way of taking a case, prescribing on the symptoms which you are seeing rather than theorizing. This is the space where theorizing doesn't help. You need to be good with your clinical knowledge, you should be good with the medicines in your hand, you should be having a constant judgment while taking a case to while prescribing. So this is the way how you should do. There should be good knowledge of few common remedies, good knowledge of the repertories like BPCR, Fatak, Boric. These were the homeopaths who shared the exact thing what they were doing in their practice. These were the true homeopaths who gave us the exact knowledge. And if I can surely tell you, you can rely with closed eye on the books of this homeopath, and they won't fail you at all. At all. Alan has and Boric had given so many important tips and points in if you can see regarding the complementary medicines. Good decision making is very important. Consider this disease from a broader standpoint. Always consider all the points while prescribing. Smaller point from my few cases which I showed you, which I do, I had shared you. Now you can think on your own part and include many other things in this. Importance of mind, then generals, and then physical. This is the way how it is being taught in our colleges also, and it plays a role in this manner only. The 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 mind of the patient at times can is very important. At times the thermals are showing something different, but if the mind of the patient and you're very sure that he is pointing towards one single medicine, I would say from my own personal experience, you can leave the generals at that time and prescribe the patient on the mental symptom what he is giving at that state of mind. There was at times, if you can see in ICU patient, the patient become very suspicious that that doctor he will be able to treat you or no. At that time, you should be having in your mind the medicines which are having coming under the rubric suspicious. At times the medicines you should be keeping is like there is a patient who is affected by certain bad news, and post that he started developing symptoms. This is the ailment from on which you should be thinking, and based your prescription keeping that center point, and then taking the other symptom and then prescribing. Be courageous, because you can change someone's life. This last 1 year, what I can say, I thank to Dr. Hanneman that I was able to touch so many lives. At times I have not seen the faces of the patient. I was just talking to them on call, and we have saved those patients. Those patients are thanking us and sending more and more patients so that we can create a change in their life. And I want all homeopaths everywhere, anywhere you are, if this basic knowledge, if you can memorize or master it, it will create a lot of impact for the mankind. And homeopathy basically will get its desired position in the world. Even if one person thinks get life gets getting saved with homeopathy, I think the purpose of me taking this session is solved. Few important takeaway points. Now I will be ending my session in a very short time, hardly 5 to 10 minutes. But I want you all to take a snap of this point also, because this are important thing. Whenever the patient are coming, at times they say hamara bukhar or our fever has stopped, but go and ask him to check the temperature in the oral mucosa. The patients are checking in the armpits, and if you say the armpit temperature is not coming in COVID patient, you should first take the oral temperature. I had seen few cases where the patient came to me, sir, my fever has stopped, just give me the medicine for COVID. I am feeling only my COVID report is positive. I asked them, check your oral temperature, and the patient used to be shocked that the temperature was 101, 102. So this bad the disease is. You have to be attentive how to identify this disease and catch it at the bud itself. When you catch this disease at the bud, the patient will get better very fast. Check oxygen after a 6 minute walk. This is also a very important test to check the severity of the patient. If there is no investigation at the place where you are staying, So these are important clinical points what I want to tell you, that it plays an important role. Do the blood investigation on time. If the after 3 days if you think fever is not stopping, don't wait and watch and let the patient be on just on Zincovid or Limsi or any other thing. It would create a lot of destruction for his life. Regarding Limsi, if the point has come, I want to tell all the homeopaths or all the doctors who had joined me, that ask the patient to don't chew the Limsi tablet or the vitamin C tablet because it is containing the orange flavor. Because of that, there is a throat infection which the patient is facing. Ask them to just swallow this the tablet. And actually, if I want to tell you personally, there are a lot of studies also where they haven't given that much importance to taking these vitamins. They say these vitamins won't treat the patient, it's just a supporting thing what the doctors are prescribing. Now you have to take a call that how many medicines you want to give that patient while treating it. Do the blood, the CT scan is a gold standard. If your locality or a nearby place has a CT scan center, take help of this. It is a very gold standard. When RT-PCR test was not done, the CT scan was the thing on which we were basically giving importance. And even in pathology, we have rubrics where the which part of the lung is involvement, and when you do this thing, it plays a very important role in prescribing. Be patient. At times fever takes time to settle completely. I had seen cases where at times 10 days the patient is taking to settle down. But don't worry when your oxygen is not dropping, when you are taking all precaution and monitoring the patient properly. Don't get bogged down that the patient is having fever for 10 days. At times the patient has to suffer. This is the way how disease is. But if you uh, immediately keep on changing your prescription, you will lose this patient. So this is one important point which I tell many homeopaths when they ask me should I change my medicine immediately, and since fever is not reducing. But no, check other symptoms, the thermals, how is his coughing, how is his basically overall activeness, how is his appetite, how is his thirst. If there is a change and improvement in those things, be patient. At times, since last 1 month, I'm seeing that patients are coming and getting admitted to hospital taking a typhoid positive report. That's saying that our Vidal has come positive. Now I want to say one thing. Vidal is an absolute test right now. Many doctors, I personally know that Vidal doesn't hold that much importance. If you want to know how you are having a typhoid, do the blood culture. That is a more important and specific test. So there is a false positive typhoid reports coming in patients who are coming COVID positive. So be attentive. If a patient is showing you that 1 is to 180 or 1 is to 160, the report is coming, sir, give me typhoid treatment. Don't be under wrong hallucination that patient is only having typhoid. Go and investigate the other test which I mentioned, and you will be shocked at times that the patient is not just having typhoid, he's having other symptoms. Leukopenia, simple CBC test, also plays and holds a very great important role while treating a case of COVID. If the patient is not wealthy and he is not able to pay that much, plain CBC and plain CRP will help you in treating this patient. There is a leukopenia and thrombocytopenia which the patient faces in the initial report, and if it is there, then your diagnosis is sure. Have patience and faith on what you have prescribed. Learn the complementary medicine what you had learned about, and then it would help in prescribing. Again, the same point whatever Dr. Hahnemann has said. Dare to be wise, leave your prejudices behind, take up all cases and save them. Don't be feared. Take help of the senior homeopaths, your friend homeopaths. They will be more than happy to help you in these cases, and it will create a lot of impact and will bring goodwill to all the homeopaths and all the homeopathic fraternity. These are a few reviews which we were basically getting while we were treating the cases. So there were a lot of the things what we had seen, and the patient which I said about the oxygen whose was 58 or something. This was the review what her family shared to us. This was the patient. If, and one important thing, if I can do it being a young homeopath, I think all of you can surely do it. Take up the cases, be attentive, and help as many patients as you can. Thank you so much, friends, and I will be ending my session. I will be asking the coordinators to take up from over here and help further.